This is the 2024 Toyota Corolla Cross. It's the XLE trim level, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to give you the information to answer the question, is this the best subcompact SUV? It is categorized as a subcompact. It competes with models such as the Honda HR-V. Now, it just barely makes it into that class of SUV. It's a little bigger than what you're looking at if you go with the HR-V. What are the additional advantages here? Well, let's see exactly what all it has. It has a nice, comfortable interior, comfortable ride quality, and there are a lot of advanced driving aids that are available here. So let's dig in a little deeper and find out. Here at Yoakum Toyota today, if you want to know more about this model, check out the link down in the description of the video. One thing you'll find here, LED lighting everywhere you look. They have the LED projector beam headlights, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights. A very nice look here that's just the right size, in my opinion. Not too big, not too small, with the upper grille. Then we'll have a little area here, not gloss black. That's always good for durability. Gloss black tends to show damage and take on damage a lot easier. This is more durable. That's a good thing. You have your lower grille down here. And how about our tire and wheel size? Let's see what we have here. 225 will be our width. We're gonna have a 55 series sidewall and 18-inch wheels. And as we work our way up onto the side view mirrors, they're going to be manually folding, power adjustable, and they will have the turn signal indicators built in here on the XLE trim level. And let's take advantage of the bright Louisiana sun today and show you what all is here as far as the remote goes. It's a very light remote, so you won't even know you're holding it almost because it's so light. But you can see what all is there as far as the different features and functionality go. And as we look around a little further here, we'll find the roof rails up here and a little bit of chrome trim. I don't know how easy it is to see from this vantage point on the camera, but Corolla Cross right here in that chrome trim that we're talking about. A rear roof spoiler is going to help to channel air over this rear window. Seems to be the right size. And while you have an exposed rear window wiper here, at the price point of this model, well south of $35,000, in fact, a little over $31,000 is what we're looking at, I think that's acceptable. LED taillights will finish things off, and you already saw a little bit of what's back here on the rear with the Toyota Crown logo up there, the Corolla Cross logo, and you know this is the XLE. And for those who say, you know what, Tom, I am anti-turbocharger. What are my options here? Well, you have a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. And it's easy to know what you have here because you don't have a bunch of plastic covering everything up here. And while this is not a big high horsepower setup here, it's still nice to see what you're getting. So what about horsepower and torque? The horsepower numbers come in at 169. Torque comes in at 151. It is mated to a CVT. And nothing unusual here with Toyota. You have a prop rod here on this particular model. Not a big deal, but what I think is interesting here is that the prop rod is mounted up here in this area instead of down here like you'll often find on a lot of vehicles. And if you're wondering, right down here is where you're going to actually put that and let it hold the hood up. So, not a bad thing. It's kind of nice to have it out of the way like that. How about MPGs? With that engine not being big, not making tons of horsepower, they've got to be good numbers. 31 city, 33 highway, 32 combined, and 3.1 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And one more little Easter egg of sorts for you, something you don't hear about a lot of the time in these car review videos or vehicle review videos. I'm gonna open the gas door here. How many gallons of gas can you hold? 12.4 gallons, and good news for, again, those of you who are not only anti-turbocharger, but anti-capless fuel fill. You can see you don't have that here. And there is actually a towing spec for this model. You can tow up to 1,500 pounds. And depending on if you go with all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive will determine your cargo capacity. 25.2 cubic feet worth of space, If you go all-wheel drive, it will be 24 cubic feet. You do have the cargo cover right here. I'm just going to pull that back to show you what's there. You've got the cargo net right here that can be used in a few different ways. Underneath that floor is something that I know will make a lot of you very happy, and that is going to be a spare tire. And a little bit of space here behind the fender wells just to put things that will fit in that area. So you have a little bit of extra space, not only here in the back area, but on the side as well. So a few different options. And by the way, yes, the cargo cover is removable, so you can remove that. Obviously, you can fold down the 60-40 split rear seats as well to maximize cargo space. And earlier, I'm sure you noticed when I opened this rear tailgate or lift gate that it's power. So that's nice to know. You're going to have nothing out of the ordinary, but just to show you what's here, there is the button to close that. There's actually two buttons there. You can just close it, or you can push the button on the right that locks the interior and closes the rear lift gate. And let's talk about what rear seat passengers are going to find. You won't find a typical door bin right here, but you will find a cup holder. And how about the armrest comfort? Well, let's see. If I put my arm up there, that feels comfortable. It's not hard plastic, so that's a good thing. You have a little bit of padding right there. Seems to do the job. And there is a fold-down armrest right here with the cup holders built in. And in case you're curious, yes, you do have the releases right here to lower these seats. Now, they don't recline back, in case you're wondering about that. And one singular rear seat pocket. But the thing that I think will be a win here for a lot of people is the fact that you have rear air conditioning vents. And also right down here, I don't know how well you can see it, a little dark, but there are a couple of USB options as well, and a sunroof. Not a panoramic sunroof, but it's still here. It does slide and tilt open. And for those of you who are saying, okay, Tom, I'm pretty impressed with what I see here. Am I going to be impressed with the price? Well, you'll have to tell me. $31,233. Let's see what else you get beyond what I've already shown you. And as is typical with the front doors of most vehicles, you're going to find a little bit more real estate for the armrest. And there is a door bin right here, so a little more space where that's concerned. The Corolla Cross logo here on the floor mats. That's nice. Now, you'll have a manually adjustable passenger seat and a power driver's seat. Both are heated, so that's going to be helpful, at least with the time of year we're coming up on here. Some of you are probably already really cold, depending on where you live, so that will be helpful. Plenty of space within the glove box. You'll also find here are our controls for the heated seats, USB connectivity, and a wireless charging pad, all for less than $32,000. Not too bad. If you are looking for the control to turn off the auto stop start feature, there it is. If you want to attempt to do a burnout, you'll have to turn traction control off. There that is. Conventional style shifter. And then we're going to have our power parking brake and brake hold mode right there where it says hold. And if you're wondering what that is, when you activate that, when you come to a complete stop until you touch the gas pedal again, the brakes do not disengage. Especially when you're in high traffic situations, that can be very useful. Here are the cup holders and the center console. My arm fits up there pretty well, but if you have really big arms or doing a lot of workouts with your forearms, well, you might have to put it right here so the other driver, or the driver, or whoever's in the passenger seat can't necessarily do that. Otherwise, you're going to be really close to each other. So I hope you're friends. And then we'll have the center console. And guess what? More connectivity options. There's your 12 volt, and there is your USB. And the upper console, like to give fair time to that area. You can see what all is up there. I probably don't need to tell you too much. Now let's hop over into what is most likely the area of greatest interest in the interior for those watching the video, the driver's seat. And by the way, before we hop into the driver's seat, I want to make sure I don't miss out on one thing I forgot to tell you about the side view mirrors, blind spot monitoring. So that's always a good thing. I know a lot of you like to know about whether or not that is there. And here are our controls, everything for your windows and your locks and all that good stuff. You can control the power side view mirrors right there. You can drop the lever here to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. You can control that power lift gate back there with this button. So you can see what else is here. I think you know a lot about that. One thing about these Toyota Corolla Crosses is they have a nice looking instrument cluster and infotainment screen. So we're going to hit the push button start right there. Let everything come up and show you what's here. A nice modern look as far as what we have. And you can see that I'm scrolling through, or maybe I should say arrowing through, because I'm using the arrow right there to do that, to go through different information. And obviously you can use the up and the down arrows to get to whatever you need to. So pretty simplistic. There's your back button if you need that. And you'll control the headlights and the fog lights right here. And there's one more function that this lever has when you push it up and push it down. Some of you know what it is and some of you don't. I know that because I drive around a lot of you on these roads in Louisiana. Right here, well, I can't really say anything to make you laugh about this or feel guilty if you don't use your blinkers. But that's the lever for your front and rear window wipers. And the steering wheel mounted controls here, pretty self-explanatory. Now, one thing that I know I hear a lot when it comes to the infotainment screens and some of the other competitors here, especially with the Hondas, people saying they're too small. And by the way, that blinking effect you see right there has to do with my camera. It's not really happening. I'm not really sure how to fix that. Somebody might be able to tell me down in the comments section what to do with that. But you can see what's here. A very nice infotainment screen, very easy to deal with. You have a lot going on here, trip information. This is one of those really simplistic systems that you don't need anything more than what I call the hunt and peck method to figure out your way around and learn what it does. You have your rear view camera right here with the trajectory lines that you can turn on, off. You can change how they look, whatever you want to do there. And you can also change the view, as you can see as well. Pretty easy to deal with. Dual zone climate control is also here. Don't have to tell you too much about that because you know what's going on there. But one thing to see here is how you operate your heated seats. So a couple of different settings here. When it's in the up or down position, they're going to be on. And when it's in that middle position, well, obviously it's going to be off. A little different compared to what we see with some other vehicles, but there's nothing wrong with different. And here's a little something interesting. I can't get everything to go off at one time the way I wanted to, but it kind of sounds like, for those of you who like to visit the casinos, you know, almost sounds like that's where you are with a slot machine or something like that, and with the parking sensors. So the closer we get, there we go. I guess we won because I didn't hit anything. All right, let's get out for a test drive. And for myself personally, this is the first time I've driven a Toyota Corolla Cross. So it'll be interesting to see what my ultimate conclusion is here. But after having been on the road for a very short time, I have found that, number one, yes, the ride quality is good. It's very comfortable. It seems to glide over the bumps nicely on what little driving experience I've had so far. But I really like the fact that I feel very, very comfortable here. I don't feel cramped at all. Very, very happy with the seating position. Obviously, you can adjust everything to your liking as the driver as far as the seat goes, the power adjustable seat. You can also adjust your steering wheel, mentioned that earlier, tilt and telescopically adjustable. And everything is easy to get to. You know, one of the things that I know I hear a lot is that the screens in the Honda HRVs are too small. This seems to be the right size for this particular model. And I think it's at a good location as far as your infotainment screen goes, because it's not too high. You don't have to look over it almost to be able to see the road in front of you through the windshield. So kind of an interesting thing to consider, but some of us have driven vehicles where it almost seems like that's kind of an obstruction of sorts, but I think it works out very well here. And everything is easy to get to. Everything's easy to deal with. You don't have an overload of technology here. And for the price point, well, that probably should not be a big surprise. Overall, very enjoyable to drive. So let's see about acceleration here. I'm just going to give it kind of a little bit of gas and kind of get that typical CVT situation, although the CVT here is a little bit different in how it operates. I think it actually is better than most out there. Got up to speed fairly quickly once I got rolling, so not a big problem. I haven't had the pedal all the way to the floor, but I don't think most people who buy these models are too worried about that. But just in case somebody asks, well, no big deal. A very well laid out interior. Like I said, everything's easy to deal with, everything's easy to learn, nothing is difficult to get to. And I like the feel of the brake pedal. As I come to a stop here at this light, it actually is extremely manageable. So depending on what you're coming out of, I don't think you'll have a hard time adjusting, assuming that all of these Corolla Crosses have a similar setup like that. I don't think it's going to be much different from one to the next, but if you come from a vehicle with aggressive braking, you're not going to have trouble brake checking your passengers or anything like that when it comes to operating the brakes. The gas pedal equally seems to be easy to deal with. Just little things that you might think about when you're driving. I like that. That's a good thing. So overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. Okay, tell me what you think down in the comments section. Is the 2024 Toyota Corolla Cross XLE the best subcompact SUV? One thing it definitely has going for it is the size. It's not too big, but it's not tiny either. It really helps out in a lot of areas. There's a lot of great options. You can go front wheel drive, you can go all wheel drive, and a very roomy interior. Definitely going to get the job done for the right person, that's for sure. So tell me what your thoughts are, and don't forget, if you want to know more about this model, check out the link in the description of the video. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Yoakum Toyota for loaning me this Corolla Cross for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel, please be sure to do so you don't miss any future videos. Tell me what you'd like to see me review here on the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel. We're about to get into some new dealerships. I'll keep that a secret as to what's coming, but I know a lot of you are going to like that. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing or simply learning about, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.